Mother's Day had always been a gentle celebration in my mind, a quiet acknowledgement of decades spent raising my children, tending a home, and loving fiercely. But that Sunday morning, as I drove through the sun-drenched streets of suburban Connecticut, my heart felt a mix of anticipation and unease. I was wearing my favorite emerald green dress, the one that made me feel elegant and alive. In my hands, I carried a bouquet of freshly picked tulips and a box of homemade pastries for my grandchildren. As soon as I stepped inside Danielle and Michael's house, the children rushed toward me, squealing with delight. "Grandma Grace!" they cried, wrapping me in hugs so warm and sincere that for a moment, the sting of past lights seemed to melt away. The sun poured through the wide living room windows, lighting up the pastel-painted walls, the shelves full of framed family memories. For a few blissful seconds, I felt like everything was exactly as it should be. Michael, as usual, offered a stiff nod and a terse "morning." Danielle appeared from the kitchen, her smile polite but distant, eyes glimmering with something I couldn't quite name. "Mom, we have a special surprise for you today," she said, handing me a pink card decorated with tiny stickers and drawings. "Read it out loud for everyone." I held the card carefully, my fingers trembling slightly, and opened it. At first, the sweet scribbles from the kids warmed my heart, but then I read the words and the world seemed to tilt. "Roses are red, violets are blue. You're a heavy burden. No one wants you here." I froze, my voice catching in my throat. The rest of the words hit me like a punch to the chest. The laughter started almost immediately. Michael's sharp, cruel chuckle. That night, the house was silent except for the soft ticking of the old clock in the hallway. I hugged my knees to my chest in the armchair, memories flooding in like an unstoppable tide. I thought about the years I had poured into raising Danielle, sacrificing sleep, comfort, and sometimes even my own needs. Danielle's father had walked out when she was just 3 years old, leaving a note in the kitchen. "I can't do this, I'm sorry." I had held my daughter tightly that night, whispering that everything would be okay, that we would manage somehow. And somehow, we did. I worked double shifts at the local textile mill for over a decade, my hands calloused from sewing uniforms late into the night, saving every extra penny for Danielle's future. When she expressed her dream of becoming a nurse, I sold my mother's jewelry, the only valuable keepsake I had to pay for her college tuition. I remember her eyes shining with determination as she said, "Mom, are you sure?" "My love," I told her, brushing a strand of hair from her face. "Your dreams are more important than anything I have." Through the years, I became not just a mother, but a quiet anchor for the entire family. I helped care for the grandchildren when Danielle returned to work after maternity leave, walking 6 blocks to their house every morning, making breakfast, bathing them, and reading bedtime stories. I gave financial help when Michael lost his job, paid for computers, car repairs, even a kitchen remodel, all quietly, without complaints, because I loved them. But gradually, the warmth faded. The gratitude that had once brightened my days
The next morning,
became
I woke
scarce.
early, with sunlight spilling across my bedroom floor. I felt something I hadn't in years, a spark of purpose, a resolve that steadied my shaking hands. I dressed carefully in a tailored gray suit, the one I had bought for Danielle's graduation but rarely wore. I brushed my hair into a sleek bun, applied subtle makeup, and looked at my reflection. For the first time in decades, I saw not a frail old woman, but someone capable, determined, and in command of her life. I began with my finances. For years, I had quietly funded Danielle and Michael's comfort, hundreds of dollars each month, loans disguised as gifts, even major expenses like home repairs and vacations. But those days were over. Sitting at my kitchen table with bank statements and investment records spread before me, I realized the scope of my generosity. Over the past 5 years alone, I had given more than $60,000, all while being treated as a burden. With a clear mind, I started making changes. I canceled automatic transfers to Danielle's account, closed the joint savings account they had used for emergencies, and reviewed my investment portfolio. Every decision reminded me of their disregard, but instead of pain, I felt power. For the first time, the resources I had quietly amassed were mine, completely and unapologetically. Next, I turned to legal matters. Mr. Franklin, my longtime attorney, looked surprised when I walked in with purpose radiating from every step. "Grace, everything okay?" he asked. "Yes," I replied firmly. By Tuesday morning, I was ready. The house was quiet, the kind of silence that allows a person to think clearly, to act decisively. I dressed in my most elegant gray suit once more, smoothing the fabric, adjusting my pearl earrings, and carefully placing my hair into a tight, sophisticated bun. I wanted to look every inch the woman I had always been inside, strong, independent, and unshakable. First, I went to the bank. Mr. Henderson looked surprised to see me so early. "Mrs. Grace, how can I help you today?" "I'm here to make changes," I said firmly, "important ones." Over the next 2 hours, I executed everything I had planned. Automatic transfers to Danielle's account were canceled. The joint savings account for emergencies was closed. I redirected my investments, transferring funds to accounts that were completely under my control. Each decision reminded me of the years I had given selflessly, while being treated as invisible. But instead of bitterness, I felt liberation. Next, I went to Mr. Franklin, my longtime attorney. I explained my new will, how all prior inheritance meant for Danielle and Michael would now benefit a foundation for abandoned seniors. My grandchildren could access a trust only if they maintained genuine relationships with me. Mr. Franklin raised an eyebrow, concern etched on his face. "Grace, these changes are significant." "They are necessary," I replied calmly. "For the first time, I am acting in accordance with my own worth." With legal and financial matters settled, the final step was personal. I sat at my desk and began drafting letters for Danielle and Michael. My hand moved with purpose, the words flowing easily, carefully explaining why I had made these decisions. Not with anger, but with clarity. It was time for them to understand the impact of their choices, the costs of their indifference, and the strength. The next morning, I woke before sunrise, the sky painted in soft shades of gold and lavender. My suitcase was packed, my documents secured, and my heart steady. For the first time in decades, I felt excitement replacing fear. Today wasn't just a trip, it was a declaration. Grace would no longer be invisible, used, or dismissed. She would live on her own terms. At the airport, I moved through the crowd with quiet confidence. First class awaited me, a small luxury I had earned through years of hard work and careful saving. As the plane lifted into the sky, I looked down at the patchwork of suburbs below, streets I had walked countless times, delivering love, advice, and support that had been taken for granted. It all seemed distant now, part of a life I had outgrown. Once in Nassau, the warmth of the sun and the gentle sound of waves immediately filled me with peace. My inherited condo overlooked the turquoise waters, a serene contrast to the chaos of my past. The property had been rented out for years, the income quietly accumulating in accounts my family had no knowledge of. Here, I was untouchable, independent, and truly free. That evening, I sat on the balcony, the breeze playing with my hair, and opened a glass of wine. I thought of Danielle and Michael, and the letters I had left behind. I had not acted out of revenge, but to assert my worth and